What is happening, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to Dragon Age 2. So, we were wandering around the Hightown Market, so I was just cleaning up some stuff, and I ran into this bounty, which is rescue the Viscount's son, so let's take a look at this. The Unbidden Rescue. Offered on the authority of His Excellency, Viscount Marlo Dumas. Citizens of able nature, Viscount Dumas requires your aid. His son, Seamus Dumas, has been lost to uncertain company, and a safe return is sought with all haste. Make your case of skill to Seneschal Bran at his station in His Excellency's keep, and the reward for this act shall be generous in both sentiment and coin. We will certainly go check that out. We've been talking about how much we need influence and coin, and how better to do that than to save a Viscount's son, right? He'll be directly indebted to us at that point. So let's check up on some of this. We do have Wayward Son. We have a quest down in the Elven Alienage. Main plot is just the Deep Roads Expedition. We have the Unbidden Rescue down here now, which is going to be a nice little taste into some of the political aspects of this game. And then we have Welcome Home, which is to go speak to Merril. So what I think I'm going to do this time is I'll go talk to the guy in the keep. We'll get this all squared away and started. Then I'll probably go chit-chat to Merril, who is in our party now, by the way. And then after we talk to Merril, I'm actually going to briefly touch on our tactics, because I did set them up. Now that we have our mainstay party, the Varric, Merril, and Anders, the only thing that's going to change here and there is I'll switch out Varric for Isabela. But for the most part, this is our mainstay group. Varric and Isabela are kind of interchangeable, but since I have the main three with us now, I'll actually go over some tactics. I did set them up off camera, so I'll show you guys how to get a general party tactic build. Which is not, it's not finalized. I haven't done some things I need yet, but
Viscount Dumas will see no one.
Got a good start off.
News of Seamus, I will relay it to him.
Fine. Tell Dumas my scouts have tracked the boy and his Qunari captor to the wounded coast. I'm taking a full company after them, and when I return, I expect him to make a show of the reward.
So many to deal with one Qunari seems excessive.
He may be Tal-Vashoth. The Winters leave nothing to chance. Get out of my bloody way!
She's a prize, isn't she? I'm sure she'll handle that rescue with a delicate touch.
What is it?
Looks like I'm not the only one who saw the bounty posting.
Apparently so. And I am regretting it. As I told the others, Viscount Dumas' son, Seamus, is missing. We suspect he was taken by a Qunari. If you would like to try your hand at securing his safe return, feel free. I have certainly granted no exclusivity to the Winters and their violent approach.
Well, do you know anything about the Winters? It might help to learn something about people's whose like toes we're about to step on, right?
I should know about the competition.
The Winters out of Navarra. They don't care one whit if Seamus is returned unharmed.
From the land of the dragon hunters, huh?
Their lead, Sirrah Guinness, is hungry for a foothold in fair Kirkwall. And frankly, we have enough of their kind.
Shit, she took the job for the same reason I did. I'm trying to get in good with the Viscount too.
This isn't a task for a guardsman.
There is a concern of appearance. If we used guards, it would allow Viscount Dumas' opponents to say this admits the Qunari threat because the city responded. In these times, public embarrassment is preferable to official embarrassment.
Right, so you're trying to do some... avoid an incident with the Qunari, basically.
The Qunari are not wild in the city. Petition their leader for the boy's return.
The Arishok has declared that it is not his role to do so. Apparently their rebels, the Tal-Vashoth, are hunted anyway, killed for what they are, not for what they may have done. That does not bode well for Seamus.
Well, Qunari don't mindlessly slaughter people. I mean, they literally pull back to save the citizens of Ravane, so they wouldn't kill him just for association, I don't think. They would know he's not Tal-Vashoth because he's not Qunari.
There must be suspicions about why the boy went missing.
Why? What have you heard?
Nothing. Until now.
There is truly nothing known. He is gone, and there have been sightings of a Qunari. The only complication is that Seamus is known to be of a sympathetic mind. He may have placed himself in danger, but it is danger nonetheless.
Well, I need the Viscount's good graces, so we'll take care of it.
The boy will be home soon enough.
Declare it if you like, but the reward goes to whomever brings him back safe. A discussion you are welcome to have with the Winters, should you encounter them, on the Wounded Coast.
You sound like you would like me to go take care of your problem before she gets a foothold here. That's what that sounds like to me. Sounds like he would rather not have to deal with any of that, and he wants us to go be his discreet sword for hire, which is kind of what they're doing with the whole bounty board in the first place, right? They don't want to be seen having an official hand in this, and so they place a bounty so they can say, you know, plausible deniability and all that stuff.
I didn't think you'd come. I'll find something relatively clean for you to sit on.
Dude, I told you we'd visit. Couldn't leave you in the slums all alone while you adjust. You certainly stick out a little, though.
To drink, I have water.
I'll take the water.
I came here to see you, Merril. You don't have to fuss over me.
You're so kind. My first guest, and I'm already a terrible host.
Yeah, owning a house would be a strange commodity for her, huh? The elves aren't really used to having homes. They have a clan and an Aravel in wide open spaces that's all communal, so it's probably quite bizarre her having her own place like this and then having guests. She probably feels a lot of responsibility here.
I'm not sure this was a kindness.
It's not pretty, but this is where I need to be.
You could pretty
I
it up.
haven't exactly had many friends.
It can become
Not
pretty.
even among my own clan.
Just gotta get some feng shui.
Tricky.
What made you unpopular with the Dalish?
Being first to the Keeper, I was always a bit secluded. I studied magic and history while the others were learning the Via Tanadal. It's good that I left. I'd have made a terrible Keeper. I was never that good with people.
She has very green eyes.
You seem to be getting the hang of it already.
I'm glad you think so. Thank you for coming to visit me, Hawk. It means a lot to me.
Of course. We got we got rivalry there. I think that's because I said our house is a shithole. Oops. Alrighty, so for Merril, the thing that we want to do here is usually I would go 2 magic and 1 constitution, because as you see when we dip into our tactics, we're using a lot of blood magic for Merril. So she's gonna need constitution instead of willpower for her battery for her spells. But since this is 36, I will actually go 1 and then 2, because this needs to be at around 250 for her to have like a really good battery. And 36 magic is already pretty chunky and high. So now that we're in this section, I really gotta try and think of what I want to do here, because we haven't done much down here yet. We do have Wrath of the Elven, which is a very powerful ability, but I haven't really spent much time in any of this stuff. I think our last level up, we ended up Mind Blasting elemental weapons. Crushing Prison is a very strong ability. I mean, look at the fizz damage, it's 377, so this is actually a really good shout. Let's do... Yeah, let's do Crushing Prison. That's gonna be good. Alright, so now we'll get into the juicy tactics of the situation. So, again, keep in mind, this is not finished. Excuse me. It's not finished, but it's just so far, right? Because I ran out of tactic slots and I don't have all the abilities ranked all the way up yet, so... Varric is really close to level up too. So is Anders. Okay, so we'll be taking care of them soon too. So for Varric's tactics, you want to set him to aggressive, obviously. Now, self-health 10 and stamina, mana 10, that's obvious. You just need to get that back up. Now here we have enemy target of Hawk. And then you jump the current condition for the next tactic. So target of Hawk, skip to this one. And then if the target of Hawk is rank elite or higher, he'll use pin and shot. Which for the record has been upgraded to disorient and shot. Which is very important for Merril's cross-class combos later. So keep that in mind too. Now, Anders being attacked by a melee attack Armistice, or Varric being attacked by a melee attack Armistice, that's just to drop the heat off. What Armistice does is it'll drop the heat off whoever they're currently attacking and make them jump to the next biggest threat on the battlefield, which will almost always be us. It'll be my character with a big chunky two-hander swinging around at the speed of light. Then we have him attacking whoever attacks Anders and whoever attacks with ranged attack, which is just going to take care of the little archers and stuff in the background. Or if Anders is getting a little overwhelmed, then Varric will help out. And then obviously we have Hawk, Annie, and Goad. And that's just goading enemies into attacking us. It's self-explanatory in the name. That's just going to keep more and more aggro on us. We did end up leaving with 2 tactic slots left, but we'll fill those as we come to fill in those. So, for Anders, he doesn't have much here either. Merril's is the tactic slot where we actually ran out of space, so I'll have to worry about that at a later day. But she has the obvious ones, the vanilla ones, right? Like self-health, 25%, use health potion, self-mana or stamina, 10%, use Illyrian potion. It's just keeping him alive and well. If my character falls to about 10% health, then he needs to heal us. The reason why it's so low at 10 is because eventually when we get Berserker, the lower our health is, the more damage we'll do, so we want to keep it pretty low. I'm just setting this up future-proof, basically. If I find I want to heal before this, I'll just do it myself. I'll toggle over. Varric health, 25% heal, because Varric is way more important to heal than me, currently at least, because I have the Reaver tree where I can self-heal, so that's fine. Enemy cluster with at least 3 enemies, obviously Glyph of Paralysis, that's going to stun lock them. We also upgraded it, so I think it's like 10 seconds or something of stuns, which is insane. Enemy, at least 1 enemy is alive. That's haste. That's just going to boost all of our attack powers. And then self-any heroic aura, flat party buff, speaks for itself. And then enemy using a ranged attack, attack. Same reason we had Varric doing that too. It just takes care of those pesky archers up on the side. Next thing, and the real juicy tree, where all the important things are, is so self-health, under 50, you want her to deactivate Blood of the First. And I know I'm activating it down here, but it needs to be up top as the priority so that as soon as our health is below 50, it immediately cycles to this before it goes down the chain again. That's why this is priority number 1. So when you activate Blood of the First, instead of using her mana pool to cast spells, she uses health. Right. So once it's under 50, she turns this off because we can't have her getting too low. You die too quickly in this game. So assuming she's turned that off because she's under 50%, if it drops again further to 25%, she's going to take a health potion, which will probably put it up to like 70, 80%, something like that. Right. So enemy cluster with at least 3 enemies. We have Chain Lightning right now. We will eventually change this tactic to Disoriented, but we don't have Fatigue and Fog yet for Varric. So for right now, this is going to just stay with enemies clustered. Here is where Disorienting Shot on Varric is important. So you remember that if my character is attacking a elite or higher enemy, then Varric is going to pin it with Disorienting Shot. Now, that is only happening to elites, which is why this is so important. So only elites for now are going to be disoriented. And so as soon as she gets a disoriented enemy, she's going to activate Stone Fist and Spirit Bolt. Now, I got the 2 upgrade pass for these to where they do way more damage against disoriented enemies. So that's a cross-class combo with her and Varric. That's what these 2 are, which is very good. Obviously here, when her health is above 50, she activates Blood of the First, so that'll drop the mana pool. Self-any rock armor, self-explanatory. It's just buffing her defenses, making sure she stays alive, because given her health pool being her spell power, she's obviously going to get quite low, so this extra DR is going to take care of that. Self-any elemental weapons, that's just going to buff the rest of the party with a flat buff. That's all glorious and very good. So self-health over 50. The reason you skip the tactic here is because if it's over 50, then she obviously has Blood of the First activated. So all this doesn't matter, because you skip tactics to this. That's what skip tactics means. So you just skip on this, skip this one. This is only relevant if her health is under 50 and she's using the mana or stamina to fuel her spells. Then that's the only time this is really important. And then the last but not least, obviously, is using ranged attack. And we did actually just get a brand new ability. So what we will do here is enemy, rank. We will go elite or higher, and you will use Crushing Prison on it. And that is the party tactics so far. That's how we have the setup so far. I hope I explained that decently well and the theories behind that. Every couple of videos, when we get more slots and we start beefing them up a little bit, I'll probably update that and fill you guys in on what we've changed and why we've changed it. So in between episodes, I did get a brand new quest called Herbalist Tasks, and we have to go get some things for somebody in the gallows. One is in the bone pit, so that'll be a natural conclusion there. And the other is in Sundermount, so let's take Merril back to her elven brethren. We can have her chit-chat a little to her friends. I think I actually got jumped here. Yeah, I think this is a random path that we've been pulled into going across. It is. Let's get it. There's Glyph of Paralysis working beautifully. Oh, this is the Blackpowder guy. Yeah, I know what quest this is.
The danger is past. Are you all right?
No thanks to this lot, can't get a decent blade at a bargain anymore.
Well, you found me.
You, though, you're what a man needs. A skilled enthusiast.
Your mess just picked me up on the way by.
Still better than what I had. Look, the name's Travaris Tintop. I need someone to help pacify the Qunari.
Why do I get the feeling he's not talking about singing them a lullaby?
Those hornheads in Kirkwall have a powder that explodes, and it's just dust. No
Called
lyrium,
Gatlock.
no demons. Anyone can use it.
I have heard of this. It's why their ships are so feared.
I doubt they were eager to sell.
That Arishok said I wasn't worthy. That only their outcast, the Tal-Vashoth, or that mercenary. I said, great, I'll go talk to them. Didn't go over well.
Yeah, I can imagine why.
Think. Maybe he'll bargain if I get rid of something that bothers him more than, well, me.
The Tal-Vashoth.
The Tal-Vashoth. Are you up for some paid hunting?
Your people must have something like that already.
Small things, shaped to crack faults, not shatter the earth. Plus, they're mostly lyrium. Expensive, poisonous. The Chantry controls it topside. The glow makes you a target. Problem after problem.
Well, how much is the money worth?
What's the point when we already have magic that can do the same thing?
Maybe you have magic, all tough and human and whatnot. But what of the common man?
Tough and human and whatnot.
How does he remove stumps from his land, or produce them on his enemies? What does he do when he needs a hole far too fast?
Blast them to smithereens,
Magic is
apparently.
hard to market. But this stuff you can put in a bag.
All right, I'll step in for you. For a price.
I'm done bargain hunting. I want it done right.
Came to the right place.
Best I could figure, they're up the Wounded Coast, a whole camp. Take their heads off and meet me at the compound in Kirkwall. Get this right, and we'll be richly rewarded. Richly.
We'll see. I think you might be misinterpreting the Arishok's words there. I don't think he'd be too fond of selling Gatlock to outsiders outside of the Qunari, but I think our dwarven friend there might have gotten suckered into doing that. Under a false promise. Well, of course, we'll go take care of it. It's XP, right? And I'm quite keen on meeting the Arishok, so definitely we'll be taking care of that. In fact, now that we have this quest active, I didn't really mean to pick it up this time, but now that we do have it, might actually change my plans for what I was going to do this episode, actually. Yeah, I might have a little change of plans for us. I'll still go to where I was going on Sundermount and take care of that, but instead of doing the Bone Pit, I might do the Blackpowder Promise quest. Alright, Varric. What do we have for you? So, I think these should be okay for Varric. He's not as squishy as Isabela, so you don't tend to need as much. Because I'm paranoid about the chests, we'll go 1 dex and 2 cunning. How about that? And then in terms of all of this, Brand would be very good, because we actually lost the ability to use Brand. We also need Corral. Corral makes the goad very, very good, and we already have that in the tactics, so it might be better to do this now for Varric and then worry about the rest later. We also need to get him up to Fatigue and Fog, but that's going to be a 2-point investment here, so that's 2 levels up of an investment. Something that we're not even going to do in the tactics yet. Alright, let's just buff Corral. Make sure we're keeping the aggros. Now for Anders, obviously you've seen what I've been doing here. We've been going 1, 1, 1, and then 2 and 1. So I think, God, what did I do last? I don't know what I did last, whether it was 1, 1, 1 or 2 and 1. But his magic seems a little low comparatively. So let's do 2 and 1. And then next time we'll do 1, 1, 1. For Anders build gets a little complicated because we don't actually get to fully get his build off the ground until we do one of his personal quests later. So we're kind of just running around with not much to speak of. Vengeance, Panacea. The Panacea is Anders always had a knack for healing. While this mode is active, nearby allies recuperate quickly, even in the heat of combat. This mode allows Anders to use aid allies and regroup, but cannot be used at the same time as Vengeance, and Anders cannot cast any offensive spells for the duration of the effect. Okay, that's sustained too. And then Vengeance is, while this mode is active, Anders gains a measure of control over the spirit within. His attacks and spells inflict much more damage, and he becomes able to cast Martyr, but he is more susceptible to damage and cannot be healed. Oh boy. What do I want first? Do I want you to be able to be my battery, or do I want you to buff the shit out of my damage? Actually, you know what? Let's not get that right away. Glyph of Repulsion is a really good ability that's gonna debuff the shit out of everybody. We need level 11 for Great Haste, so we can't do that yet. So I think I might actually get Glyph of Repulsion up and going, because that's a great knockback debuff ability. Yeah, that's fine. We'll keep him there for now. Don't worry about the rest as we level up more. So, yeah, we're still going to go to Sundermount, and we'll still get the Herbalist task knocked off that's here. And then we'll do the Arishok's quest, because I really, really would like to meet the Arishok this episode, now that he's been mentioned. Because he's my favorite character in this whole game. I'm super excited to bump into him. I love chit-chatting to him, and I'm actually going to show you guys how to get a rare achievement in this game. And actually an alternate ending for Act 2, if you do it this way. But I'm going to show you guys how to gain the Arishok's respect. There are certain dialogue choices and checks you have to meet in order for him to respect you as a warrior. And if you do manage to achieve that, then you get a really cool cutscene and a different ending that's relative to it, so...
Merril. So you've returned.
I'll show you guys how to get that
How
one.
has your time been among the Shemlin?
It's been nothing but roses and rainbows, Master Island. The alienage is lovely in the spring.
I bet.
The collapsing shacks and drunken brutes are nicely offset by the knee-deep mud.
This path has been of your own choosing, Merril. A path that has saddened the clan greatly.
Perhaps if the clan was more accepting of the ancient ways and not so mired in fear.
Enough! We will not bicker like children in front of strangers. We cannot undo what is done. My apologies for that display. Perhaps we can start again.
Yeah, I wouldn't really
You've
like
returned.
to get involved in
Is there
this.
something you need?
You find us Ironbark.
Do you have any pure iron bark in stock?
What use is ironbark to you? I've never met a Shem who could bend it to his will. Either way, I'm out of stock. I do know where it can be found, but it is impossible to retrieve. Our people were forbidden from venturing to the area after we lost 2 of our best hunters there.
What's the problem? Maybe I can give you a hand dealing with it.
I find it insulting that you think you would succeed where we could not.
Well, you just said your people got butt-fucked on national TV, so perhaps you should let me
If we
try.
tried to eradicate them, we would risk the precious few hunters we have left.
Allow
I'll
me.
show you where the area is. What you do with the information is up to you.
I'll take that. Alright, so that's going to take care of the hunter issue that we had. I thought I could move around this map. I guess not. Alas. Let's go kill us some Darkspawn, huh? There's the Ironwood clearing. Let's do that. And then we can head to Sundermount. And we'll do both those Qunari quests, actually, because both the quests we have on the Wounded Coast are both related to Qunari, so... It's been a while since we ran into Darkspawn, huh? We're in the fire, puppy. Very good. As you can see, these party tactics are very effective and very strong, as is the builds. I can't wait to show you guys the late game what this build is capable of. I will absolutely make a standalone video probably on this build. just need to find a good fight. There's the chain lightning, beautiful stun pop. Right straight into a glyph of paralysis. Okay, gentlemen. And here's the big boy. So let's take a look at this. She's stone-fist him because he's paralyzed. Repulsion, barrier. Okay, let's just see how my party tactics handle this actually. Give him a mighty blow though. Very good. And he is cooked. That's the cross-party combo that just popped off. So we got that tag team achievement because she comboed the disorienting shot. And you saw how much damage it did too, that big chunk of health that vanished. That is how potent this can be when it's all played correctly. And you'll notice that the beauty of that too is it's kind of a no-pause style of gameplay where I didn't even have to proc that myself. Like I did pause to look quickly, but he was already stunned and she was already casting, so I really didn't have to do anything. That's the cool part of the party mechanics in this game, and why I love the tactics of this so much, is if you don't want to deal with that and you just want to play your character and worry about your passives and your abilities, you never have to micromanage anything if you set the tactics up right in this game. Best tactics in the series by a landslide. Considering an Inquisition, all you can do is favorite an ability to make her more likely to cast it. So you basically have to micromanage an Inquisition, which maybe they did that on purpose, but regardless, I think if it was on purpose or by accident or they just didn't think about it, I think it's a terrible idea. I do not like what they did with the combat system in Inquisition or Veilguard. I think both those games pretty much exclusively dumbed down what system was already there into almost non-existence.
You made it back to the alienage in one piece then?
I don't know how.
So we already took care of most of this map. The rescue is down here. We've already been to the Tal-Vashoth camp. We killed a bunch of them before. Let's go save our friend Seamus. Of course, all the Tal-Vashoth respawned, which is good for us because that means more XP. Come on back, doggo. Yeah, that's good. We'll get a big chunk of XP out of these two quests since everything on the coast is respawned. And well, the one Winter's woman just talked to us like a complete bitch, so if you were going to ask me to be invested in being a fly in that ointment, you already sold me with her attitude. They'll be right down here. Then we'll go clear out the Tal-Vashoth camp. Because, like I said, I'm excited to meet the Arishok. I love the engagements with the Qunari in this game. It's my favorite part, my favorite thing. Now, you'll see here, a lot of mercenaries around. Archers on watch, clearly an ambush, right?
And the world's rid of one more Qunari. Easier than I expected. Call the men back. We've got an appointment with the Viscount. Isn't that right, Seamus?
Ashad! You killed him! You Vashedan bitch!
That one of their words. See, that's why you need to be dragged home. You're playing too nice with those things. I'll wager you've gone even further than that. Haven't you, brat?
Vashedan bitch is one of the best insults ever spoken in a Dragon Age game. you Vashedan bitch. Anyways, sweetheart, it's time for you to fuck off, if you couldn't tell.
Nice work, but I'll take it from here.
Competition? Well, you're too late. The Winters, I, have already claimed him.
Time for you to put down and piss off.
If I must go back, so be it. But I will not see these murderers rewarded.
Spoiled shit! I'll cut out your tongue and charge extra for bringing you back quiet.
You really won't.
And as for you, I could do with some entertainment while we wait for the others.
They won't get here fast enough. Like I said. Good boy.
Dead and good riddance, but she said she was waiting for more. A lot more.
It's not the worst place to be trapped like rats.
Strip the camp, and we'll ready a fitting welcome.
Howdy, friends. Beautiful threat generation.
Oh, Andraste. I've never seen so many corpses. So much blood.
We'll get through this. Hold on a little longer. There may be more coming.
Well, come on then. I'm gonna be letting them go to my back line. Beautiful chain line in Merril. Well, I trust my party so much. I'm gonna start spawn killing. Get off my Mabari, bitch.
Ashard never lied. Never coddled. You were worth his time, or you are not. They are not the brutes others claim they are. Take me to my father, and I will try again to make him see.
It's clear this was not your first encounter with this Ashard.
I met him soon after their ship foundered. I had run again, to escape the keep and my father. Ashard was to map the coast, to find an answer for the Arishok. I had so many doubts. Qunari have none.
I wasn't aware that Qunari take many friends.
Perhaps it isn't the right word. I am the Viscount's son, bound by everything that means. Ashard did not care. We were both seeking something. That was enough.
You're already starting to see the appeal of Qunari roles and the way they view things.
I confess I'm not sure what one does with a dead Qunari.
The body is no longer him, and is worthy of no special treatment. That is, apparently, their way.
Should his people be told?
They will know. Whether they will deign to acknowledge it, I have no idea. There was much of Ashard that I didn't understand, but it was so very worth trying.
The Viscount is clearly concerned about your safety.
The Viscount sends thugs to do a father's job. I was in no danger until his help arrived.
You could have told him this was your wish.
Keep your assumptions. He doesn't hear me. He's as tired of being disappointed as I am of bearing it. And now, Ashard is dead. It's not right.
We will get you back to your father here in
We'll
a
leave
second.
soon enough, Seamus. Be ready.
I just
I am
want to
at
loot
your
the
whim,
camp.
Sirrah.
Yeah, I'd like to loot up before we head out. He has gold for us, and of course I want that. Did your friends drop anything, Guinness? Anything that I didn't have a chance to loot after I was dragged into cutscenes? Yeah, this game does sometimes kidnap you into cutscenes, so it is worth it if you ever get the opportunity to look around, like the game asked me there, to do it. If you find yourself in a situation like this, because especially if you're using equipment like I am, where enemies drop more loot or more gear,
And you have coin to collect, I'm sure.
Indeed I do. It is very worth going back, because they'll almost always drop things.
Let's go, Seamus. Your father will be waiting in the keep.
Then take me to him.
That's the plan.
Father.
My son. I thought I'd lost you.
Enough, Father.
Allow me to present one Sirrah Hawk, Excellency. He fulfilled the bounty.
You have my gratitude. I hope you encountered no great difficulties on my son's behalf.
There were complications, but I was privileged to keep your son from harm.
I was told the Winters had involved themselves. Was there no way to avoid an incident?
They murdered my friend. Where is the concern for that?
It was my understanding you were captured alone. Foolishly traipsing about the coast as you do.
I was not captured. I was with a shard. The Qunari. They are not monsters to be feared. If you would just try to understand, others would see as well.
Better that you were thought abducted than to have their influence suspected in my own family. Benign or not, it's too much.
Politics is a dirty affair. This is not my affair. I'm a step out. This is some father and son stuff that I have no business being involved in. I'll take my gold and I'll leave, sir.
Forgive me. This is a private concern of yours.
Your actions are appreciated. The Seneschal will see you out.
Yeah, it's not my business. It's not in my purview or my pay grade to discuss fatherhood with the Viscount there. That's his business. They clearly have a strenuous relationship.
Good day, Sirrah.
So I wonder if it'd be worth taking Isabela out. Let's see. We might have to level her up quickly. Of course, she won't have the tactics that Varric has, but I'll give her some levels. Alright, Isabela. You obviously need a lot of cunning, so we'll get you up to maybe 24. She needs a lot of constitution to not be super squishy. And then if we're looking at all this, she does have fatigue and fog. She's not at a high enough level to do the disoriented fog, but that is eventually what we want for Varric. This right here, that'll let Merril proc a whole bunch of goodies with that. Brand would be good, so that you can target the elites. Armistice is always a good shout. Don't really need anything for Swashbuckler yet. Here, let's save those ability points on Isabela. I will take care of that, but I need to decide what I want to do with that. And for right now, we got business. That's a warning from a Qunari, assumingly. Of course, we already killed most of the Tal-Vashoth along this path, but let's see if our good friend has something to say to us.
Tal-Vashoth control these passages.
I am more than capable of meeting any threat.
So I see. I expected to warn a caravan, not a well-equipped tracker. The path ahead is littered with my kind. If you are as skilled as you look, it would please me if you killed them.
You have turned your back on your kin?
Yes, for a second time. I did not like my role, so I left the queue. I do not wish to be a murdering thief, so I left these Tal-Vashoth to warn their victims. You are no victim, so now I will leave.
I want a friendly way to get what I need.
You will be disappointed. They are reveling in chaos. It is a wretched freedom. I still need order, even if I insult the core of the Qun by selling my honor as a mercenary.
Do I really have to convince you to do the right thing?
I have already done more than was demanded, by my own choice. You have my word of caution, human. Heed it or do not.
So you see, some Qunari, even without the Law and Order of the Qun, still want the Law and Order of the Qun. He just didn't like his role, but you see he still has some honor there, and he accepts it for what it is. I mean, he told you flat out, he told you his position. He sold his honor to be a mercenary, so they view him a certain way. Good job, Merril. I see the chain lightning. I see you. when I get a little higher and I've managed to build out Isabela a little better than current, we'll go over her tactics too. But for now, of course, we just got violence to take care of.
Let's finish this!
I see that problem occurring back here, so let's take care of this. What are you getting beefed by, Anders? You might die. He got the heal off. One straggler back down here, who's getting his ass kicked by Merril. Health potion. Again, we got that health potion because we were running out, so the game automatically drops more whenever you run out. You're all gonna have a bad day dealing with me. You can already see the difference between having Varric here to do all the Armistice and Good thing versus Isabela not being here to do that. Of course, she doesn't have Brand and all the juicy things to do yet, but she should be able to serve the purpose we want her to serve here. Should be okay. This actually, perhaps I did make a mistake by bringing Isabela, actually, because I think there is a problem ahead. I think this is the Qunari mage fight that I detest. I messed up by not bringing my strongest party here, actually. This might be more of a challenge than I would have appreciated. We'll see. Good job on the chain line and Merril. I don't think we've been inside this cave system before, even though it looks like we have. We haven't, so I'm gonna make sure I take a good look around, be very thorough. Because there will be goodies here. The new instance. Man, I hope this is not the mage Qunari fight. But I think that it is. We're all just gonna sit here for right now. I got what I wanted. I can go get some. Okay, so far. Now that Lieutenant's dead, this becomes easier. Could be no problem with this guy. Yeah, I do think this is the Qunari mage fight. Well, you guys might see me struggle here, actually. We're gonna have to do something about that, actually. So here, let's spend these points. Based on what I know about this fight, Critical chance. That's armistice, and that's goad. Let's get these that she needs. Tactics. That's all set up as is, so... Fork. Any... usability. I just need her to be good in doing this, and... Anders being attacked by melee attack. Usability. Armistice. Self. Being attacked by melee attack. Usability. Armistice. And that'll be a decent enough temporary kickoff point for Isabela's tactics, at least to try and get through this fight, if it is what I think it is. Yeah, it is what I think it is. This fight sucks. This shit is hard.
I'll deal with this! Good less to worry about! Got you!
Yep, this guy. The Sarah boss. This guy sucks. Okay. You see how they all just almost got immediately nuked by the lightning? Okay, now is the time to do whatever you can to him. That is what it is for now. Thank God. Okay, so Anders fell, but the Cerebas is gone, so this is manageable. Okay, we got it.
Done, for better or not. The dwarf will be at the compound.
Yeah, words can't express how much that fight sucks. It's really tough. That's this fucking Sarah boss is like the hardest enemy in the game for me. They are really hard to fight against. They came to fuck shit up. And they do successfully fuck shit up. If I had known that I was walking into that, I certainly would have brought Varrock. Because Isabela doesn't really take off until late game. I just brought her for the flavor text of what happens when we finish the mission, so... In hindsight, I could have just switched them out and tagged her in later, but... Hey ho. We got him dead, that's what counts, right? We do have something that we need to do here in order to pass the check, like I said, about gaining the Arishok's respect. The first time we get an opportunity to work on that is over here.
The salt spray on my...
So let's save up one more time.
Let me pass. I have business with the dwarf Javaris and your Arishok.
The short mouth, yes. Enter if you must, Basra.
The short mouth.
You go on ahead. I would rather not.
An awkward time to run off, Isabela.
Ah, you know I'd never leave you. It's just that I really have to leave. Now.
So yeah, that's the interesting thing. She won't go inside the Qunari complex. We don't really know why at this point, but interesting to know that she just flat refuses. She'd even leave us short-handed, like Hawk pointed out. So we'll tag Varric back in. Go here with a full complement. Excuse the cut there. I actually realized that not only is there a cool achievement that I'm going to teach you how to get with the dialogue options, but there is another cool dialogue option we can get by having Fenris present here. So we're going to take Fenris into the Qunari camp.
Let me pass. I have business with the dwarf Javaris and your Arishok.
The short mouth, yes. Enter if you must, Basra.
The short mouth is funny. So there's going to be some cool things that we can do here. There's a special dialogue with Fenris since he knows Qunari, since he was brought up in Saharon. And then we got to pick a certain dialogue option when the Arishok is speaking, when it presents itself. So, man, I love the Arishok. I hang on every word this dude says. He's such a G. And the voice actor does phenomenally.
My right hand arrives. Summon your Arishok. The bargain is done.
Let's see if the dwarf is necessarily telling the truth. Look at this guy. He's so cool.
Arishokost, Maras Shokra, Anan Isamkun.
The Qun from an elf? The madness of this place.
Friend of yours?
Friend of no one.
Yes, well, that said, I'm here to report that your hated Tal-Vashoth were felled, one and all, right? Yes, they were. So, I'm ready to open negotiations for the explosive powder, as we agreed.
No.
He's not getting it. Make your chatty elf say something.
Alright, so let's pick the special companion dialogue. What do you have to say about this, Fenris?
Any insight that would help?
Qunari do not abandon a debt. I humbly request clarification from the Arishok.
I have a growing lack of disgust for you. The dwarf imagined the deal for the Gatlock. He invented a task to prove his worth when he has none.
Then we have wrongly inserted ourselves in your affairs. Would you have us kill this dwarf?
Wait, what now?
If you face Tal-Vashoth, he is not worthy of dying to you, as he was not worthy of dying to them. But you keep good company. Let him live, and leave.
Okay, now the important dialogue to select here is that we were promised future profits. The little dwarf over there made a bargain that he expects the Arishok to cash. And I'm sure you can imagine, based on how this conversation has gone so far, how the Arishok is going to feel about this.
He had big plans for your recipe. I was supposed to get a piece of that.
Dwarf, did your imaginary bargain make promises on my behalf?
I expected your wisdom to be more profitable.
Then you will pay on my behalf.
It's not at all. Take your coin, take whatever. Hornhead oxmen and mongrel donglords suck your own powder and blow your head off. Sod it.
You will leave as well, human. There's no more coin for you here.
You can see the disdain he has there for the city already. He's like, get out of my sight. There's no more coin for you to benefit from here. Now, I wonder if we can chit-chat to him a little more.
But when it is done, do we leave Kirkwall like this?
Let's see if we can talk to him.
Why do you bother me, human? The dwarf paid you. There is no more. Your kind thinks selfishness and want are normal. This city, all of it, leaves a bad taste.
He's such a G.
If you despise this place, why haven't you left?
Since we arrived, I have seen nothing but greed and weakness. Dwarves, humans, elves, just festering. No order, no goal. You are one of the few I have met with any ability. And yet this too was random, a result of selfishness. I cannot fathom how a mire like this can be justified. You say we should leave, but how can you bear to stay in this chaos?
Indeed, this is an interesting conversation, and I love how we get a little bit of his viewpoints here on all this, the way he talks about the festering cesspool that is this city, how there's no order, no goal to anybody's lives, no rules, just pure chaos and selfishness.
I take no blame for this city. I'm new here too.
And it disgusts you as well?
Some of it, but would it be so different anywhere else?
Karastan are soldiers. The Qun made it so. They can never vary from that assigned path, never be other than they are meant to be. But they are free to choose within that role, to accept and succeed, or deny and die. Glory is clear and defined. You claim it is no different anywhere else. We deny that, with a certainty that would benefit not just you, but this whole city.
He's free to choose to obey. That isn't contradictory to you?
He chooses to be. As do we all, long before any of your meaningless freedoms are presented. I am not the one to educate you. I did not intend to land here. But this city may demand certainty. I suspect we are done, human.
Yeah, I've got a couple more questions for you.
How many Qunari have you lost to the Tal-Vashoth?
None.
That seems unlikely.
We lose nothing when weakness abandons the Qun. It is the Tal-Vashoth who have lost themselves.
I met an honorable one.
Doubtful.
He said he was a mercenary, not a murderer.
Then I know he made no claim to honor. When they sell themselves, little remains. He is not even dead to the Qun. He is a living insult.
He did say that himself, that he sold his honor.
You guard your powder carefully.
It is a tool that can only be allowed to exist under the ordered authority of the Qun.
It could benefit many people.
It does now. Just as swords benefit warriors, but are not given to children. Well, your children.
I don't think Kirkwall would do well under military rule.
The rule of the Qun is not military. It is discipline and order.
How is that different?
To your limited understanding, it is not. You fear soldiers that arrive to remove your pitiable vices. But they do not control Qunari. The Triumvirate divides and governs. One is nothing without the others.
Can you tell me about the other two parts?
No.
Then we can learn nothing.
I am no more equipped to explain than you are to understand. Arishok, Arigena, Ariqun, pillars of the Qunari, of the nation that must be. There is but one way to know these things, human. And I have yet to decide if it must be done.
You're very cool. And like he said, he's not in a position to discuss the other two things because he's an Arishok. He's the leader of the Antom. He's a soldier. He's a general. He's not part of the religion or the politics.
You're a long way from home. Why did you come?
To meet a demand of the Qun.
Which was?
It is a matter only the Qunari understand. We remain until we fulfill the demand of the Qun. Or until the demand changes.
I love this guy.
Farewell.
Panahedan, human.
Like you said, we discussed him less and less as time goes on. But yeah, you gotta tell him that you were promised future profits to get brownie points for the achievement we're going for with earning his respect. And you get also bonus points, obviously. I mean, you saw it play out. He appreciates bringing Fenris along and that we roll with somebody that knows about Qunari customs like that. So, yeah. That was what the edit was for. I played it out without Fenris, and then I remembered that he actually has those really cool dialogue scenes. So I figured I'd put that in Anyways, now that both those quests are wrapped up, that is going to be the perfect point to wrap the episode. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, you appreciate what I do here, please do check out my Patreon, linked in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned and I'll see you soon with more Dragon Age 2. Take care everybody, have a great day. Peace.